What about the delight, like emotional connection, the moments that make users fall in love with the product? How do you approach measuring these less tangible aspects of user experience, and do traditional tools like session replay and confidence intervals fall short here?
I think that nowadays, especially in UX, there is a big gap in applying, kind of, data analytics also to the visual design, context of the user experience. Now, we always think that, okay, we can apply metrics or we can apply, data analysis only when we are tracking the usability, the usability side of the user experience. But in reality, data analysis, so there are metrics that are able to capture, the emotional reaction, user feelings, also to, let's say, the static value, or basically the feelings that in a user interface or any product is able to create in the people mind. For example, there are, especially in the post-study questionnaire, there are questionnaires like the emotional metric outcomes that was developed by Lewis, or SUPR-Q questionnaire. So those questionnaires, in reality, of psychometric studies, are able to detect how people react to a piece of user interface, to a piece of content that you are putting on the screen. So I think this is equally important. So task completion, error rate, time on task are metrics that pertaining to usability. But data analytics is equally important and applicable in measuring people reaction. Of course, here we come back to the topic of objectivity. When we speak about user feelings, user emotion, we are dealing with humans. There is always that subjectivity level that you should take into account when you are sharing your data to your stakeholders. So you can track it, you can measure it, but still we are speaking about emotions. So emotions are dealing with values, are dealing with family heritage. I make you an example. In one of my recent projects, I found myself talking about why some people are not investing money in financial assets, even though they have a huge wealth. We discovered, for example, that in reality, there is a family heritage or situation that happens in the past that are preventing people to be willing to invest their money. So here you can track it, you can measure it, maybe until a certain point, because you are never able to grasp, everything that is happening in the people's lives. But still, you have tools at your disposal, and this can be applicable equally to what we usually do for task completion, time on task, and so on.